Hello and welcome to Reed-Robbins NLP Breakthrough Coaching Academy, and in this section we're going to be looking at your career pathway. So let's talk a little bit about where NLP can take you. So not just personally for your own personal development, but professionally. So I've had the most incredible career, and one of the things that I wanted to do was to make it easier for my students to follow some of the steps that I've taken, because having been in the industry a really long time, I now understand what skills are important and what aren't, and wanted to provide those for our students. So rather than just teaching you NLP, I wanted to make sure that you had access to everything that you needed in one space, by with somebody that you trusted and somebody who can mentor you and kind of show you the way. Obviously, you are entitled to have any kind of career that you want from NLP. That's the lovely thing about it. But let me show you how I support people in becoming successful world-class breakthrough coaches. So I talk about 3 skills that you need to master to become a successful world-class coach. These are NLP coaching skills, or at least if you're a coach already, you need something that is transformational. So you need some skill level, whether that's a modality like NLP or EFT or EMDR, some kind of transformational skill. So you need something that can kind of create magic, because that is now what people really need. They need you to be able to coach them. Yes, ask questions, yes, but they want that extra ability to be able to create shifts very rapidly. Business skills, so you need to be able to understand how to monetize those skills by solving problems and marketing yourself, most importantly, getting out there, letting people know that you exist, and selling yourself and your skills to people. And you're also going to need to learn how to speak and potentially train people, mostly because at some point you're going to be asked to speak. Transformational coaching really lends itself very, very well to people asking you to speak. And it might be they ask you to do a keynote speech, or can you come to my networking event and talk to all of these people that I have on my list about your amazing skills and advice that you would give, which is too good an opportunity to pass up. They might say, actually, could you come into my organization and train us how to coach or how to be more resilient and so on. So everything that we learn in NLP lends itself so well to speaking, training and presenting that it just needs to be in your skill set as a basic. It just really has helped me with my business, because rather than going one-to-one, you can go one-to-many, and that's just a massive leg up. So let me talk you through each of these aspects. Obviously, NLP coaching skills I've talked about in the previous section, but honestly, I think whatever modality you use, find the tools that worked for you. Your story is very much more compelling when you're building your business. If these are the tools that have changed your life, this is the solution you would recommend because you've used it, that I think is really compelling. So if you love NLP and you've got great results with other people with NLP and you love it yourself, NLP is great. You can have as many tools as you want in your toolkit. As I said before, NLP is brilliant because it gives you the full framework of coaching if you're not already a coach, but it also gives you the full framework for transformational coaching, which is slightly different, a lot different than traditional coaching. So then if you decide you want to use EFT with a client, you have the whole framework, and then there's just the modality that does the intervention you can use as whatever you want. So plenty of people have NLP as a base and then add other skills on later on for the interventions, whatever you like, but find the tools that work for you and practice them like you're possessed, like you're obsessed with them, because most of these skills require you to be fairly proficient. You won't be at first, that's normal, but if you are passionate enough and you practice enough, I say don't be perfect, be prolific, not perfect. The more practice you have, the better you will become. Master your tools and just say yes to everything, and just anything to get you more practice, essentially. the next thing you want to do is work on your business skills. So the biggest mistake, remember, that people often make is they need to get good at the thing that they do before they can sell themselves. And if you wait for that, you'll be waiting forever. Just accept that everybody's on their journey and you'll get better as you go. But you need to start thinking of yourself as, okay, I'm going to start a business doing this. And you may not be able to niche yourself at first, and there might be lots of questions that you have about running a business. So take it slow. And I've created a business course that literally takes you from sort of day one to thinking about what your purpose is, what you're driven by, what you're passionate about, what your core essence is for your business, and then takes you step by step how to sell yourself in 30 seconds, what your story will be, what your niche will be, and then how to market yourself, how to sell. And it's everything that I think that you need for starting and running a really successful business. The other thing that students who want to start a coaching business tell me is, they're really scared that they'll leave their job and then they won't be able to make as much money from NLP coaching or coaching as they want to. And the biggest reason for this, they're worried about not being able to get clients. And yes, a business can be really great, but if you can't get sales, you can't live. So a really important aspect of the business training is really understanding how to get clients, because there are multiple ways that you can attract clients, and there'll be a way that's right for you, that you really enjoy doing. If it's joyful, it's going to be more effective. So I go through in the course how you can attract clients in different ways, and of course one of those is speaking. My favorite way is speaking, and there are lots of other ways as well. So that's a big question that is answered, and there's a free video in the app called the Proximity Pyramid. So have a look at that, because that really gives you a sense of how to create a constant stream of clients in a really joyful, ethical way. So right now there is a 12-week course that's in the app, and occasionally I run it as a live group coaching course as well. So check that out if you see it. If you are a coach and not quite sure about whether you want to learn NLP, you can still access the Business Mastery program, and there are quite a few modules in there that are free, and the taster, there's a 7-day taster of the course anyway, so you can have a little look around in there, get some inspiration. But I wanted to absolutely ensure our students had the edge when it comes to being successful, making money from something that they love doing. All right, now at some point, as I said, you are going to be asked to speak. So here you are, you've got your amazing NLP skills, you're getting better all the time, and you have figured out your business, you've figured out your marketing strategy, you've figured out your proximity pyramid, you have got your lead magnet, you've got your funnel, and you're so successful that somebody says, great, I have a networking group with thousands of members, and I really want a keynote speaker, and I just love your vibe, and I love you talking about resilience, or I love you talking about confidence, will you come and talk to us? And honestly, this is how my business really started to take off, because I would go to networking events, and at the beginning, I would talk to people one-on-one, maybe leave with a few people, a few leads. Really just I was looking for, I think, connections at the time, because I was doing this on my own. And I would leave with a few business cards, nothing would really come of it. And then I realised that if I was the speaker at these networking events, then I would have hundreds of people trying to talk to me about, something that had captured their attention during my talk. And that's when I kind of switched it up, and I thought, right, okay, I'm just going to say yes to every invitation that I'm offered and let people know that I'm happy to talk. And I would talk anywhere, because in my mind I could spend all day in the office thinking about marketing strategies online. Back when I started, we didn't really have a lot of online marketing to be done, but I thought, it was all cold calls and things like that, and I thought I could spend all day indoors, or I could actually just be out there speaking to people, in groups, which is what I love doing. And if some of those people wanted coaching, then I'd be even happier. So that's what I started doing. And I also got invited into organizations by people I was coaching, and they said, I love what you're doing for me and you're helping me be more confident and lead better, more effectively. Would you come and do that for my team? And originally I would say, well, I'm not a trainer. I've no idea how to train. And they said, no, it's fine. Just do whatever you did with me. Just do it with a group. So that led me to really have to knuckle down and learn some training skills and speaker skills. Obviously, my story of, having had selective mutism, I was desperate to speak and be let loose. So at the beginning, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I didn't know how to speak. I didn't know how to train or present. So I did have to figure things out quite quickly. And one of the things that made the biggest difference to me was the NLP trainers training, which was one of my favourite all-time courses. And I trained with Tom McKay and Whitewood Small, and they just made it so fun. And so for, I think it was about 21 days, we just learned how to train NLP. But along the way, we really had to be very grounded in our training and presenting skills. As a consequence of that, I was even more confident about teaching everyone how to fall in love with presenting, how to present, speak, and train in just a lovely way that just felt good for everyone involved. So I have created 3 levels of training because not everybody wants to do 21 days, right? If you want to become an NLP trainer, I will gladly help you become an NLP trainer, but not everybody wants to do that. But you are going to need some trainer skills or speaker skills or presenting skills. So the 3 levels that I have created is, first of all, the influential presenter. It's also known as the engaging presenter. And this is the foundation. This is the writing and delivering powerful pitches and presentations. This is your stage skills. This is the confidence to plan and design a presentation of some kind, decide what content to put in there, have an outcome in mind, and then work towards achieving that outcome. Make it engaging, make it super clear and impactful, memorable, just bring it to life, and then deliver it with absolute confidence. So that is probably one of my favourite trainings to do with people, because quite often people who've never presented before come on that first level and completely fall in love with presenting, and that makes me so happy. So that's level 1, and that's essentially a 2-day course. Usually it's run online over several half days, and the trainer and facilitator course is 3 days long, and the engaging presenter or the influential presenter is a prerequisite. So it's really important that you understand all the fundamentals before you then learn how to train and facilitate groups. So within that trainer and facilitator, we'll look at everything from online and in person, but it covers everything that you need to be able to plan, design, create an engaging training, including all the learning styles, and just make it really, really fun for you and your audience. And that covers everything that you need to be really good at teaching people how to do things, as well as facilitating groups through decision making or collaboration, whatever it is that you might want to facilitate. And coaches automatically tend to make very good facilitators because they're good at coaching. So either you like training or facilitating or both, but that's how you can develop your skills in just essentially the equivalent of 3 days. And then I would say possibly my absolute favourite. So it's they're all my favourites, but the keynote speaker is just so fab. And it's 2 days where you essentially create your own TED Talk style talk. And there's nothing more personal than your future TED Talk. And whether or not you have any goals at all about writing a TED Talk doesn't matter. This is really about your keynote speech. This is about your signature speech. This is about what you care about, what your message to the world. If there was a way you could leave a legacy to the world, this would be the sort of summing up of your experience and your knowledge in a nutshell. Most people will come to either my house in Devon and work on it one-on-one with me, where we do the content on the first day and we get that really nailed down. And then on the second day, we practice how to deliver it in a really impactful way. And that can happen as either a group course or one-to-one coaching. But obviously if it's a group course, there's much smaller numbers. And the keynote speaker as well, if you want to include sales skills, selling from the stage, like motivational speaking, board breaking, whatever's your preference, we can add that in there. So most of these levels, we always have to include storytelling, but it'll be the different types of storytelling as we go through. So please, at least the engaging influential presenter is free. And so definitely you'll, do that course. It's so amazing. And if you don't already love presenting, I really hope that you do by the end, because I try to make it really simple and straightforward and, beginner friendly, but also anyone who's been presenting a while will still, hone and perfect their skills. So that's the presenting, training and speaking skills aspect. In summary, I want you to have access to everything that you need to create a career as a coach, as a transformational coach, and become a successful world-class breakthrough coach if you want to. And anywhere on that career pathway that you want to go, I want to help you. So I think I've created pretty much everything that you need along the way, but I'm always adding to, the moment that I feel something would be useful, I add it to the schedule, or I add it to the app, so that all the students have access to everything that I know, to make you as successful as possible.